Ask Dev. Does it take a few seconds for it to pop in?
When I tested it, it was pretty much instant. Of course, I tested on QA, and I haven't tested since it got there. But yeah, it should be pretty much instant when people put a message up.
Yeah, I was actually in Universal, and somebody was asking a question, and it came up right away. So it took seconds.
Okay, and I got it wrong in the notes. I put Ask Dev.
Ask a dev. I could go change it to handle multiple variations of that, but... Let's see. That's not what I want. Crop, that's what I want. There we go. Starting to wonder if that thing was on. I think people forgot we do this now. There's some people showing up.
Did you tweet out that we're doing the stream?
It's set up so it tweets when I get on. So yes, the answer is yes.
That works.
Alright. Start spamming this. I guess we're live right now, right?
We are live right now. Oh, am I too loud? Testing, testing. I guess I should test. There we go. Let me move it away. I think that's probably the problem.
Does anyone think my fan noise is too loud? It's pretty hot in this room, especially with my wonderful hat.
I'm not hearing it.
Okay, good. Good. I got the mic kind of pointed away.
Yeah, can't hear it. Okay, there. I think I got mine better. Okay, now I think we're good.
Ooh, thank you for the subscription, Tular.
What?
And Z, thank you.
Hello.
I had no idea you were joining us. You did not make the billing.
It's alright.
Glad to have
Surprise
you.
cameo.
When you asked earlier.
Do. Dev party. Oh, I don't think I have, I think it's set up wrong here. Why don't I have the thing? There we go. Oh, we're apparently doing a hype train right now. I didn't even know. Oh, there's what's wrong. Hold on, let me turn that on. There you go. Now that's working. Forgot how to do it. It's been so long. Okay, now I think I got it all good. Except I need to come over here and move that up there so you guys can't see it. There we go. Live in the sunshine. We got too much of that in Texas, thanks. I see Vic Cannon asking 2-hour stream. I don't think we have a set time. We'll do at least an hour, but really just as long as we have content for. We're trying to, that's kind of the purpose of doing these less frequent streams, is to make sure that the content that there's actually, what we're talking about is not just wasting time, that we actually have a lot of stuff to talk about. So we'll see. Hey, do I get beers? No, this we'll keep it to a modest length stream, but it'll almost certainly be more than an hour. I might
so
do.
Are we doing the exclamation point question situation?
No, I do not have that, so we should probably copy those up. They're supposed to be asking in game. You can ask in the stream as well. The Ask a Dev will get top, and that's what I should totally do, is have that dumped to the same thing we have the Ask a Dev, so they all go together. Oh, and I see John Marcus.
As a
combines it, yeah.
prefix. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that'll be next on my list. For those who don't know the Ask Question stuff, there's Ask a Dev in game, which is you just go on the Universe channel and start any, /u space ask a dev space whatever your question is, and it sends it actually to one of our internal team chat channels, it works really well because it lets us reply to it, and we can talk over things, and then if something trolly shows up, or maybe somebody asking us for a date or something like that, whoever that was doing that multiple times, we can just delete them. But it lets us manage it really well. So and that was one of those things I debated too, as to where to put it, because I could have just as easily added a / command, ask a dev, but I didn't want to. I wanted other players to be able to see. I wanted it to be out in public. One, because it reminds people to ask questions. And two, because sometimes seeing somebody ask one question, jogs their memory a bit, and then they have a question, they come up with a question they want to ask. So I want to make sure it was out there in public, and then also so people didn't ask really stupid things, although I don't think that's ever going to stop. Pardon me, there are no stupid questions.
I have another question for you, Chris.
Not true. Go on.
When people do the Ask a Dev feature in the game to ask us a question, do they get feedback to tell them that the question was submitted?
They don't, and that's the one thing I need to go add to that. So I'll try and get that in, because I think people were confused because they do Ask a Dev and they didn't get any feedback. So so I need to get some feedback on that form.
Yeah.
But we can confirm it is coming through. We are getting your questions. I see Alexander just asked when Hollyhock scanned for Elgarion GM, Asmodi, Aeolus, Adar, Anpu, Tummy Rumble, Thunderbottom.
Great name.
Vesper. Vesper just made a statement. There are stupid questions. That is not a question. Wait, was that a second 1337 bits from John Marcus? Does that mean you want 2 songs?
Uh-oh.
I gotta sing twice, unless, was there somebody else on the stream that wanted to sing?
I could do one.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. 2-hour string of nothing but us singing. We are getting close, and nice to see you there, John Marcus. We're getting close to time here.
Grab some water. Be right back.
Do a quartet? We can all sing a sea shanty. Don't think I know sea shanties except for the Disney sea shanty. fish behind me. Everybody's happy and healthy? Few new angelfish in there?
Yep.
Those are angelfish who got pushed out of another tank because they were a little too quarrelsome. Oh, so close. Hey, all right. Let's see a tier 2 stream. Hype. Where's Mojito? Mojito is in the other room. Again, this has been one of those things, I think people who watched me stream for a long time know that like Mojito used to always be sitting right next to me. Well, that was true until the pandemic times, and my wife and child have basically been home, working from home, going to school at home since pandemic started, so they've stolen my dog. He sleeps with me at night, but he does not come in to keep me company during the day, so... and I really wish he wouldn't sleep with me at night because that frequently wakes me up. He'll, wake up in the middle of the night, come out from underneath the covers, and then won't go back under the covers unless I lift the covers, and he'll whimper if I don't lift the covers for him. That's exactly what I want at like 2 a.m. So that's also sometimes why I'm awake at 2 a.m. and just can't fall back to sleep is DOG Mojito. All right, enough about that. It is 4 o'clock. Hey guys, thank you for joining the stream today. This is the first, of the new format. We'll see how it goes. I think we're probably pretty happy with it, but we're only doing these Friday streams once per release. We do it the day after release, so we have the release and then we follow it up with a stream the next day. That is actually the format we used to use long ago. Before we went to the every single week, people had to give up their Friday and people were not excited about it. I think with this format, people are a little more willing to come on the stream and be happy from the team and not feeling like every week it's just something that they're dreading, rather than it's something that's more special. Which, by having it immediately after the Friday stream, we have plenty of content to talk about, which is the main things. We want to make sure if we were on the stream, because you guys would be better off watching watching another streamer who's actually going to run around and play the game and do good stuff in game and teach you stuff, rather than watching us if we don't have a lot of good content for you. So by doing it this way, we also our Friday streams are extremely good content, hopefully, that we have lots of stuff to talk about. 'Cause, hey, we just had a release. You guys also have more questions that we piled up. There's a new feature I will point out that we wanted. The other thing we realized we wanted to change was previously the only people who could ask questions on the stream were people who got on Twitch. Well, at 4 o'clock on a Friday, a lot of people are still at work. In fact, most people are still at work and couldn't join in on that, and they couldn't ask questions in advance. So we wanted to have a way to do that. So now you can just do in-universe channel, ask a dev, all one word, space.
A lot of people were also sleeping on the side of the world and all that too.
Yeah, and a lot of people are sleeping, or some people are crazy and staying up late. I'm sure John Marcus, I don't even know what time of day it is where he is, but I'm pretty sure it's not a reasonable hour. But anyway, so we want to make sure that people in-game could ask it even if they couldn't get on the Twitch channels. So that is up there now. I unfortunately didn't get that live until the release. That'll be in there for a while. I'm going to add one change to it, which is it works. We get it. We've been getting the messages from you guys, but I think people, they ask it and they don't get any feedback. So I'll add something so it gives you some feedback saying question logged or something like that, so you know that you've asked a question. Because I think as it is right now, it's a little confusing. You say it and nothing happens. It just shows up on Universe channel.
Yeah, just tag the player who left the question so they know it's them. And
yeah.
good.
And also, just so you know, we do get the name of the person who logged it and the time that they logged it at. So all good stuff on our end, just not giving you guys the feedback it needs. But anyways, go ahead.
A side note. It was brought up today that Sean Guy asked about adding a exclamation stream command to Sodabot. Now that we're back to monthlies, so that way people know when the next one is, and I will be adding that back into Sodabot.
Awesome. And joining me here today, I have directly above me, in the square above me, I have Ravalox. You want to say hi?
Hello, everybody.
And then we have up here, that guy up there in the corner, opposite corner from me, with the loud fan. I'm just kidding. We can't hear you, fan. Can't hear
Hey
it at all.
guys, Elgarion Community Manager. Good to see you.
And then here to my, is that my left? I guess that's my left on screen. Woohoo! Level 2 Hype Train. We will do 2 extra rounds of prizes at the end there. But anyways, here we have, next to me, we have Sannio.
Hi, I'm Keith Quinn. I go by Sannio. I also want to point out that I changed my Twitch name, so people won't be shocked. It was I am Sannio, but I have a couple of, work-related online handles. I just wanted to match them all up. So now it's KQ Creates. So there you go. And I'm a quest and level design and play your own town implementer kind of a guy.
All sorts of things. As is everybody on the team. But we just wrapped up what I would hope will kind of be the target we should be shooting for in the future, a release for a tick release where we didn't break a ton of stuff, and release day everything was super clean. It's stunning. Oh, hold on. I just noticed something that's bothering me here. Hold on. My window is not filling the window. There we go. No, I think my window, my game screen was not 1920 1080, so it wasn't filling the screen. I had a black bar on the right-hand side. But anyways, this release was, normally we basically have panicked builds immediately afterwards because there's a lot of stuff that's really bad. And this release, we did it. Again, we worked towards making sure it was a very clean release. And guess what? It was a very clean release. We got a lot of stuff done. We got a lot of polish in. We ended up putting one new scene live. That was kind of one of those things. We wanted to get that one live last release. Didn't quite make it. Decided to hold off. But so far it's been very, very clean. We haven't seen any big problems. There's a few things. We'll probably be doing one more patch that I'll push out tomorrow morning, and that'll probably be it for a while. So, but anyways, we hope this is what our tick releases will look like going forward, is they'll all be this clean and it won't be a bunch of panicked builds and trying to patch and all the other stuff. So let's see. We'll try. I think we can do it. That's, at least this is going to be our bar going forward, is nice and clean. But so we just had our release. Lots and lots of stuff in the release. We got the new scene going on. We got lots of new polish going on. We got
new scene, by the way, is Jotungrund. If people haven't heard about it yet.
Yeah, why am I not in Jotungrund? Now this one is, do you want to give some backstory on it?
Sure. It is in the episode 2 area of Bistrender. Bistrender has 3 islands, so it's going to be in the eastern island up to the northern half of it, in the big, wide, open, icy tundra. Jotungrund is a massively huge wasteland of a scene. If you go into it, there's a couple of characters, some dogs and stuff there. But then, I guess you can see it right now. Chris is loading in there. It is a big wasteland. We have large patrols of vicious animals. We have some hidden enclaves of barbarians there, and the big draw, which isn't live right now, is there's 3 plateaus. Each plateau will could potentially spawn a big new creature, frost giant, and he's huge. He has new powers, and it's a special boss fight situation. We're still working on it. Some players have played against him on the QA server, and giving us feedback. So we have our own sort of like design goals, and also we're taking the feedback from them and trying to make it work even better. Oh, you can see as Chris is walking around, you can see the distance. There's I guess a pack of wolves. I think that's what that is, and maybe that gives you a sense of like the scale of things. This map is big. So bring your mounts and go in a group.
And I will point out, this was one, there are a lot of debates on the team, like how some things should work in this. and just how things should be spawned. This is one I did a bunch of work on, but it actually needs a little bit more. I need to pull that out a little bit more. You can see things were spawning. Previously, things were set up so creatures used a system where they just had a distance they would cull at. And so a bear would cull at, basically all things had to cull at this one distance. So we had to pick one distance for those things. They weren't using a level of detail system that would allow them to cull based on their size. So that's actually been swapped out now, and all the creatures now cull based on their size. This should be for lots of stuff in game. So this will fix a lot of the popping issues you'd seen in the past. Some things we do still have a hard limit that I set, but Travis had already been yelling at me that I need to push it back out, and I actually see what he means with that bear. When the wolves came along that just a minute ago, and I had those on screen, you could see those were kind of down to the couple of pixels high is when they became visible. But that giant bear is still needs to have his distance pushed out. But anyways, just know that
in most of the scenes it wouldn't matter. You wouldn't see those guys. They'd be behind trees or bushes or something around the corner of a mountain or a building. So you never see them.
Yeah.
But it mattered here.
Yeah, there's one of the places you would see it is there's some of the towns, like I know some place in central Brittany, you would look up a street and you would see NPCs and stuff, because this also affects NPCs. And you'd run up the street and you could still see the NPCs popping in a distance. So that should be much better now. But that system gives us a lot more control over how we do visibility on stuff. That was one of the things I worked on for this release. So anyways, you should be seeing things at a much greater distance, is kind of the short version. Oh, looks like something out there. But yeah, this is a very large scene. There's a lot of spawners out here. But they patrol around, and that looks like something that somebody's killed. I think there's some people out here hunting right now. But even with 200 plus creatures out there wandering at all times on patrol routes, it can still be a ways. Oh, nope, just lying down. This is one of the newer creatures as well, a new version of ice elementals that have some new drops that are coming up. Someone get Chris a mount. Oh, I got my mounts.
There's also, we have an environmental hazard in there. We call it different things behind the scenes. I call it a nice devil, because it's sort of like a variation on a dust devil that we have in one desert area. But it's a big tornado-looking thing that is swirling. It moves around in the past. It can do some damage to you, so you got to watch out. But sometimes it could sort of get in the way. Chris is coming up to one of the plateaus that will eventually have a frost giant. The fog above him is a remnant that actually shouldn't be there. It should only be there when the frost giant's there, and it should also animate, but it's not for some reason. I did put in a fix for that. I'm not sure when that fix is going in. But
should go in the build I'll kick off tonight. But yeah, that'll be fixed in the build tonight.
Okay, so what'll happen is when the giant's in there, or if you go to QA and you fight the giant, what'll happen is you'll go up to one of the plateaus. He is randomly set on one of the three. So if you pick the right one, he'll be there, super huge, and he'll be ready to fight if you get close enough. Like any creature, you get close enough and they'll sort of engage in battle. And when you engage in battle, this sort of a cloudy barrier sort of appears around you, locking you in that space, and then it's a win or die situation. And of course, if you win, you get some nice loot. If you die, there's an Ankh up there that'll teleport you or resurrect you on the other side of that special barrier that's popped up, and eventually you can get another chance if he respawns in that spot. Once you defeat him, he could pop up in one of the other, in the same spot on one of the other two spots. Changes up a little bit, so keeps you on your toes. And like I said, he's a new model. He's pretty cool looking. He's got this big hammer, and like frost in his beard and clothes. Pretty cool looking.
Oh, here's a good question somebody just asked. Oh, here, let me.
Yes, is there a map? There will be a map. Yes. I actually have that right on top of my list. I had to stop working on other things this week because I've been working on the sound effects for the giant, and I will be picking up next week and working on scene maps. So I'll definitely put together a map here, but of course we need to make sure that the terrain is all set and everything. I think we're at that point, right, Keith?
That the terrain's all set? Yeah, I don't know that Travis is going to make any major changes to it anymore. I think he's working on spawning creatures. I don't know what the state of the resources are. He might be done with that. I'll have to double check with him on that.
All right.
Yeah, those few NPCs, friendly NPCs when you first pop in.
Gotcha. All right, and it's not too much of a problem. The spawns and the NPCs and stuff like that, I'm not putting on the maps anyway.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So I should definitely be able to put out a map like this, so that way when this goes live on for real, with everything in it, it'll be like the first map in a long, long time that'll actually have a game map at the same time.
I saw somebody ask, what's the phrase and how many ways to win? Two ways to win. Live in the sunshine is the phrase. With or without an exclamation mark. The 2 ways to win are, 1, you can buy something in the store. That would be going to buy not the crown shop in-game, although we should add that as well. But that would just be buying a new purchase, buying some Kodos from the store. And Travis was asking me if he could add more spawns. I think I'm going to give him the okay to add more spawns.
Yeah. We're also going to add more Ox. That's also part of the feedback. It is so huge. Players don't necessarily know how many Ox we have around a scene. A smaller scene might have probably more than 4, probably 8 maybe if it's a small dungeon scene. A lot of bigger scenes might also have anywhere from 8 to 16. I think this may need 30 or 40 or something. I don't know. We have to put a lot in. You may not need it in the big open area, but if you happen to die in the big open area, you don't want to have to run for 2 minutes to find an Ox. So we'll have to figure out what the best network of Ox will be.
Yeah, that's one of those things I've thought about, ways of improving that as well, of making it so when you're a ghost in this scene that we can give you a speed boost or something like that so you can actually get around at a decent speed. But anytime I think of those type things, I immediately think of how many players are going to exploit that they're just going to walk in and kill themselves and then use that as their fast way across the scene and respawn wherever. But worth considering at least. So there are 200.
Yeah, we still will have the general philosophy of at the entrance points and at major transition points, near the plateaus. But it's so big, and you can see as Chris is going around, he's going up and down the hills. Potentially, he can run into some threatening creature patrols that just tear him apart, and he's gonna need the res.
So I'm having trouble finding creatures out here. So yeah, so I'll probably grant Travis's request. So here's a barbarian camp. But this does show, compared to what it was before, the thing I was talking about earlier, where you can see when things actually can be seen. And yeah, I think Travis is right. They need to be a little bit, needs to be a little bit further than that. But you can see, compared to where it was before, our culling distances are now way, way different for creatures, and it's actually proportional to the size of the creature, the thing that you're seeing. But yeah, before it would pop in, maybe here is where he would appear.
Yeah, there's some questions popping up. Someone suggests the barbarians should have igloos. Well, we do have barbarians in here. They typically use tents, but there is a secret, secret, a concealed area, like a cave that they're in. Ore manager asks, are there any resources? There are resources. Obviously, you're not going to have cotton and garlic around. It's going to be like mostly ore based. There might be some crystals in there somewhere. Oh, there's some bad guys. It's a big pack.
Yeah, and there's at least one other player in here, so I assume they're hunting as well. It does have pretty fast respawns in here in terms of hunting.
Lord of Honesty says, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Lord of Honesty says that snow was thinking more of a desert. Well, it is, a desert-like area. It's a big open tundra. There's not a lot that grows there. If that's still related to the resource question.
Thanks, graceful Bard for subscribing.
Oh, thanks.
I will point out there's also 2 new creatures here that can be tamed. That thing I just targeted, the red ice snarler, is one of them. I saw some people asking if they were just different visually. They actually have a little bit different stats. They're just a little bit, I think they're a little bit tougher than the destroyers. Not a huge amount, but I wanted to make sure they were at least a little bit tougher. So if you can get one of those guys, they'll probably be the new sexy. I forget what it is, but it's in the neighborhood of like 50 health and 25 strength or something like that. But I think it is maybe 50 base health, so that may turn into 100 or 200 health once you get it. This is actually one of the issues I'm still looking into right now, is that right there. Pop, 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 pop. There's some places where creatures are popping, like doing that. My current belief is due to the massive size of the map, they are... the nav mesh is not matching up well, so that's one of the things I'm looking at still as one of my remaining bugs in this scene. Which, again, is one of the reasons why we put the scene live, because we want to get some real testing and feedback, but we turned off a lot of the stuff that's supposed to be on it.
So usually that happens when the slope is a little steep in one spot, and it doesn't sort of play nice with the way the grid nodes are connecting. And sometimes you can fix that by making the grid across the whole scene tighter.
Yes.
But this scene is so huge, it would take forever to regenerate the path grid and that sort of to test it. So maybe there's some middle ground we can find to fix it.
Yeah. I'm just going to GM ghost my way out.
Also, we're probably going to add some extra compass discovery points that you can find to help navigate your way around. There's a few in there, some of the more obvious ones, starting points and a couple of secret spots, those plateaus, the highest point in the scene. But we probably should have like more here and there. We might, I think I have them at the, there's like in one area there's a giant, part of a giant's skeleton peeking through the snow. That'll have one. And then some other spots, you guys can run around and check it out for yourself.
All right, well, let's. We haven't even touched on what actually went live this release, other than me coming to this map. So we probably should jump into some of that and go over some of those things.
Oh yeah. So you want me to go through the list at all, or?
Yeah, you want to drive that list?
Yeah, I got everything up and ready to look at, and just kind of focus in on some jiggly bigglies here. So yeah, guys, R92, great release. Of course, this is a tick. Talk comes next with the new scenes. Outlaws Runs releasing as well, right, Sannio? For R93.
No pressure.
We haven't talked about it that much, but I've been working on the scene. It's a smaller scene, a forest scene, where Jotun is like tier 14 plus, so very hard scene, kind of group oriented. The scene I'm working on is a smaller one. It's a forest scene called the Outlaws Run. It'll be a little bit north of Lord Bridge's castle, if those people know that area. And it's got a few gimmicks. We haven't run through them yet, but it's getting pretty close. And when I finish with that, I'll start working on some quests for that, and also some quests for Jotun. There's no quest in Jotun right now. There's some greeters who will give you a little bit of flavor for the scene, but no quest yet.
So for R92 though, the tick, and still quite a few goodies came in for you guys for crafting, decoration, inventory item type changes. One, we got a whole new tier of potion called the Aether tier. That kind of was started off with that Aether Corpian potion, the poison. But in any case, we've added an Aether tier to health potions and focus potions, and then we only had 2 tiers of restoration potions, which restore both health and focus at a slightly optimal rate, so you actually get numerically more increase than you would with a health or a focus potion separately, numerically. But so there was with Aether being added, that was 3 missing tiers Resto would have had. So now they have, of course, the new Aether power level, and they also have the lesser and the greater, because they just had just the regular and the imbued in the past. All of those, so it's basically 15 potions that got a lot of love. For this is basically the initial steps into the potion system redesign. So ultimately, we've been tweaking and pulling out adventure level as a bonus or a buff. So you'll notice there's a lot of gear items that used to give you an adventure level bonus, making your character a higher level than it was as the stat, and it quite wasn't the greatest idea, and also it wasn't super popular as a bonus. So, but it's super helpful though to add it into calculations on some of these buffs for these potions, and also their effects and how much they heal. So you'll notice that as you gain an adventure level, even the lower level potions may become somewhat valuable to you, and then at the high level potions won't seem as impactfully crazy overpowered, where you're like, well, I got to use those no matter what. No, you're going to be able to the potions will kind of flow with you in terms of power level as you level up. And then also one thing that was added to these the potions, because we're trying to make potion use more significant. So you're making decision-making concepts, not just spamming out potions just to stay alive. There is it's kind of a soft concept. It's not just a hard you can only use 1 potion every minute for these. It's putting a 30-second debuff timer on you that makes your next resto, health, or focus potion 25% less effective. And then, of course, any potions you currently have active that provide buffs for that 30-second time frame, they'll be less powerful. And that caps at 100%. It'll just cause people to time their potion uses a little bit more strategically, but you still have the flexibility in emergency situations at a reduced rate to go ahead and pop an emergency one and still get a few more out there. And then, of course, when resto potions were added, we added also all the recipes related to that are available for the health and focus potions, like your batching potions, and you're combining lessers into regular resto, and then combining your regular resto into greater resto potions. With this also came the fact that all potions and poisons have been removed from merchants and loot tables, except for the lesser potions, the lesser restoration, lesser health, and the lesser focus potions, which are actually significantly more powerful now, especially with the adventure level considerations. New concept for player deco, invisible walls and walkways, and that's kind of coming from the tech that we have in the Rise for that invisible maze of all those imps. So you'll find that you can place these as decoration. You can make the smaller versions of these walls and walkways through crafting. You just have to get, right now there's one particular crafting material, pure elemental ice, that won't be readily available for R92, but you'll find it a lot more in Jotungrund and R93. No, it's already, actually you should be able to get more of it in Jotungrund and R92 also, because last minute we got it added to those barbarians that are present in Jotungrund, so you should be able to get some from there as well. But your ultimate big drops of pure elemental ice are going to be coming from Jotun himself, the frost giant, and but even some episode 1 locations, you'll find it dropping off ice elementals of various tiers, but in very small quantities. So also we've got, let's see here, and you can also even place pure elemental ice as a tiny little ice cube if you want, and pure elemental sand can also be placed now as a decoration. So we also have a new recipe, and there's keep in mind those invisible walls and walkways. They're also being added to the store shortly. I don't think those went in with release day. I think they come in next week or something. Then we also got the floor turbine low power, because you'll notice in the story of the medium and high power. Low power you can craft, and they each have variable fan speeds and steam effects to give you some visual indicators as to how much it's going to shoot you up, because you have low, medium, and high power. Between the invisible walls and these floor turbines, hoping as we continue to add decorations to the game, to have more like arena type functionality, player dungeon type functionality. People will come up with creative ways to use them together, and especially as we keep adding more with new mechanics and things like that. In regards to the invisible walls, a new mechanic that's low-hanging fruit that I'll be putting in is, not immediately, but different spell effects and actions that will make them visible. And also, I did notice there was a checkbox for temp disable collision on those, so I can start using that tech for spell effects and actions that suddenly make something have no collision, where you can just walk through it like a magical wall. And I'm hoping that gives people a lot of creative ideas and things that they can do when they get those in. And I want to make uses of torches very abundantly in this concept, and come up with a variety of crafted torches that when you have that out, you have a torch bearer, certain things can be revealed, and that particular magical torch's light. Torch of Jericho will be one of the first ones in this new concept when it gets its revamp. And then, of course, people will be crafting all these different types of torches as time goes on, with different field effects to provide different types of bonuses, not just for making walls disappear and reappear or whatever, but even potentially providing buffs to your party members with conflicting buffs, so it causes you guys to spread out, so you don't want a death mage in the life mage's torch bearer's field, that kind of stuff. 3 wooden mooring post decorations, all craftable. They've been loaded in, ready to go, and you can get those recipes at Alset, for instance. And I'm hoping that this will be like a jump puzzle thing, where people can just put them out in the water, or just decorative, but they're kind of hard to jump from one to the other, so it can be fun. Also, decorative box shelves and box crates. You can now craft those as well to give you more rustic options for wall shelving and crates on the ground. And the carpeting merchants sell those recipes. Cooking recipes such as butter flour, pie dough, beef stock, cooking oil, nut butter, vegetable stock, and yeast, they all yield a lot more of the product when you craft them, to hopefully cut down some time and maybe not burn through as many resources. Animal bone, animal sinew, and fat, you're going to find that butchering a lot more creatures now, not just a small select batch of them. Common or dead bodies that we're dropping a lot in loot have been about halved. So it's still going to be pretty regularly available, but you'll notice you can also salvage those at a butchering table. That's right, and you can get a variety of bones, corpse wax, rotting flesh from them, if you get too many. But of course, don't forget, you can still turn in those common or dead bodies. You can use a recipe to turn it into basically a coffin where you're laying them to rest, and you can turn that coffin in Spite, in that memorial area, the church. Or you can go to Davempros and the Acropolis Barons, guy where you get your Lich quest from, and turn them in there for elixirs of potency and longevity. Let's see here, what else? Okay, now I'm down to the fixes on that. And tons. I wish David, aka Devicolt, was here to talk about all his UI changes. There was a ton of them. He really knocked it out of the park this round. So we got user interface. Let's see here. Of course, the Ask Dev. All you do is type Ask Dev into chat, universal chat space, and then your question, and then we're going to catch it in our company chat, and we build those questions up and we answer them on live streams, and maybe we can get some stuff out in the forums where we answer questions when they build up. All right, so here's a really, really good one. A lot of people have been asking this for a long time. Players can now see their stats on their character sheet by clicking See More, and you'll see things like spell crit and physical damage crit and critical damage multiplier, spell damage, critical damage multiplier, and your different movement rates and stuff like that. But keep in mind they are approximations, and that could vary based on your opponent and what their resistances are. There's a new dismount button on the UI. That's pretty darn cool. Also, I really like this one. Broken and nearly broken armor indicators. Now, when you mouse over it, it's going to show you what is actually broken and or nearly broken. So that's a nice little informational item there. Let's see here. Options to adjust your curse size and put it into the game. And the inventory UI has been enhanced even further. The difficulty has brought tabs back, but the All Items tab is now affected by that sorting options drop-down menu. And so you can customize that first tab but you still have those old traditional tabs over there to still use to give you a lot of manipulation options in your inventory. And then if you click the little cog up the top right-hand corner of your inventory, you can show and hide locked items now, which is super, super handy. You can intentionally lock things just to get it out of visibility. Let's see here. What's some other good UI ones? He did some. Oh, and he also added into sorting options and inventory container and artifact in there. Super, super nice. So economy changes. We got a new artifact in the game, guys. It's basically kind of populating into Serpent Spine foothills and Serpent Spine mines as a loot drop. So when you're on the outskirts there in Serpent Spine foothills, you'll find it dropping very rarely from the bandits there. It's like tier 5 content. And I think they're actually a little weaker than tier 5 in a tier 5 scene. And then if you go into Serpent Spine mines from the foothills entrance, you're going to encounter kobolds that have a slightly higher rate to drop it. And then if you solve the little puzzle and you make your way down into the shaft, I won't want to spoil how you actually get up to fight the Lich boss that's there, but he guaranteed will drop this artifact. And the artifact is the Necklace of the Meticulous Forester that gives you up to, if you get it all the way up to Epic, a 6% meticulous chance on forestry, but a meticulous collection chance, but also you can salvage it with chances to get the imbued gem of the Meticulous Forester, which you can put onto your rings and your crafted rings and a crafted necklace. Of course, it will have to be on crafted items, can't go on artifacts if it's an imbued jewel. Let's see here. Here's a really big item, and I actually spent some time this morning fixing it, and I'll start off with an apology. I should have spent a little more time reviewing my work and thinking some things through. But thanks for the feedback, and this is going to be stuff that's going to be in the patch coming up tomorrow, I'm guessing. So cinnamon bark, brown cat mushrooms, and pecan nuts have been removed from NPC vendors. Well, technically they haven't, because in the patch tomorrow, pecan nuts will be popping back on for a little while, throughout the duration of R92 in the least. And then possibly coming off an R93, but if not, probably R94. I'm just going to continue to monitor how pecan nuts are dropping after the patch. But I increased where they're dropping from significantly, and you'll find those notes in the Discord announcements area as well on those threads in the forum. But you'll have lots and lots of options for pecan nuts shortly to include, because it's using a lot of crafting recipes. It's using cooking oil and it's using nut butter, which are used in a lot of recipes. So, but the primary thing in this patch that's really going to help you guys get enough pecan nuts that you need is the requirements for those recipes has been greatly reduced, so you won't need nearly as many. And zinc, I actually had a big blender on this one. I initially did all the loot tables for zinc on all the automatons and clockwork creatures, because I created the recipe for the low power turbine, which uses zinc. And you'll find that a lot of the future recipes that are mechanical in nature will be using zinc as one of the common resources. So in any case, but then later on, I decided to use zinc also in the hardened empty flasks that you actually craft for the Aether potions. But I didn't go back to those loot tables and pump zinc up to account for something that actually would need a lot more zinc on a much more regular basis. So you're going to find that the patch tomorrow, zinc's going to drop very readily from clockwork creatures. Automatons will have a guaranteed drop of zinc every time, because they're going to be the primary source of automatons. Clockwork dragons will give you a nice little pile of it. They even added it to crates and destructible crates and little sacks that you find lying around, and increased what the drop rates it is on gray, yellow, blue, and legendary supply bundles. And of course, since it's increased on gray and yellow, that means it's increased chance drop rates in storehouse container turn-ins as rewards, because they share gray and yellow supply bundle rewards on those for the common and the uncommon. And those are just fixes. And then we went through the big thing of Jiggly Biggly with Jotengrunt. So that's all I've got.
Awesome.
Jotengrunt.
Jotun?
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry.
Nah, not that
So
important.
the boss is Jotun. Jotun is the boss then?
No, Jotun's
The boss is a Jotun.
It's a Norgarder for giant, which is sort of based on.
So it's not the boss's name. It's like, okay,
No.
I got you.
It's like the giant, plain giant.
Yeah, I didn't get that memo with the TPS reports either.
Yeah.
I was told I need to address a rumor, and then we can jump into answering some of the questions. Somehow a rumor got started that Catnip Games was for sale, or I was trying to sell Catnip Games. Let me just say that is absolutely flattering that you guys think someone would want to buy and take over Shroud of the Avatar. But I regret to inform you that no, that's never even been discussed, never been talked about amongst the team. And actually, I think the person who linked it, their proof that it was happening was some link to some document where some company filed something on our behalf. That's just the company that files, I don't know how to do a lot of the paperwork for filing various taxes and filings for junk in Texas, and they just do that for us. So no, that's not happening. Actually, if they had looked and they actually knew business stuff, if you want to do that type of stuff, you form a C corp or an S corp in Delaware. This is I just filed in Texas because that was actually something that never even occurred to me in the long run. So anyways, let me squash that rumor. That is absolutely not happening. And if you talk to an actual business person, they could probably look at the same data and tell you that that's not happening. But anyways, rumors be rumoring. Texas loves me. No. Looks like there's a few business people out there, but no, that is not happening. We're not going anywhere. Same group, not being sold, nothing like that. But so, you guys ready to jump on some of those questions we have up?
Heck yeah.
Sure.
All right, I see some questions coming in there. I saw some people also. Yeah, that's one of the things I mentioned earlier was that there's some new creatures to tame. I think the bigger thing that came out of that was one that I had always, we have literally 1,000 systems, and nobody on the team understands them all. But occasionally I will force myself out of my comfort zone and go learn a new system. So that's one that I had to go learn the new system, is how to set up some taming stuff. So the good news is not only do we have 2 creatures there, but now I know how to make tamed creatures, and I can go address some of these that have been lingering for a long time that probably should have happened a long time ago, like Bark Corpion or whatever it is. So anyways, that's the exciting news, is you can probably expect some new tamed creatures. And when we do new scenes in the future, which I know we have a new one coming next time, if there's something in there that feels like it makes sense, expect to see a tamed version of it. Llamas, tamed llamas? We do have llamas in the game. We already have those guys. We just don't spawn them. I think the only ones we have right now, do we spawn any non-pink llamas?
I don't think so. Are they?
Yeah.
Are they approved for? Sometimes we have these sort of critters that aren't really approved for full combat, which is why we don't put them in a lot of spots.
Yeah,
are they?
I don't think they're actually. I don't think they can fight. They'll run away or whatever. But I think players just want to tame them so they can have them as a pet.
Yeah.
Let's see. I see people already throwing out the whole list of everything they want tameable out there. So I'll take a look and try to get a few more tameable creatures into each release. So you can look forward to that in the future.
I saw a question.
Go ahead.
Related to not that.
Okay.
How can I get my love virtue down? It seems to stay max positive no matter what I do. One of the things I do is I try to add in little opportunities for you to change the thing. But if you want to do it on a regular basis, if you're a fan of Alfheim, one of the side activities will actually help you reduce your love virtue. It's the one where you break the totems. So if you're going to go do the wave battles in there, as you go along, also break the totems. There's one in the valley, one on the treehouse platform, and one in the town area. So if you do all those, then when you finish the final boss battle in the Grand Hall, then you and anyone in that.
Awesome. I also saw someone asking about the Snow Devil / Snow NATO / Ice Devil / whatever you want to call it. Oh wait, I think he stopped. I think Keith is gone. Moment of silence for Keith there. But I saw somebody asking about it. So that is one that is not completely done. I will try to wrap up the last power for it. The Snow NATO is actually supposed to have one additional feature that's actually the cool thing about it, which is when it hits you, it does damage, but also throws you. This is using some of the, physics-type launching tech. Hey, there's Keith back. But anyways, it will throw you. It's not just, and that's one of those things that there'll be a few more things that do that, just because that, it can be an annoying mechanic, but it is also one of those things that for a creature to be able to remove somebody from combat is kind of a big deal and can be something that you have to account for in a party, whereas many other things like are very short duration, getting thrown by a creature and taking some damage, and then the big things now you got to run back. Like you want to talk about disrupting a party, it's like take the healer and send them 200 feet away and make them run back before they can heal somebody in the party.
So where did I get cut off before?
I don't know, but I thanked you and said you were awesome. And I didn't realize you had froze up for a bit.
Destroy the totems as you go up into the wing battles.
All right. Let's see.
Question.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say.
Go ahead.
Nope. You.
Okay. Got a question from Sargato Omega, and this is the first question that came in. Since the system was announced, when will spike traps hurt again? I have a feeling they stopped hurting when you kept leveling your character, and you build them up and so much more powerful, and they're based on flat damage. And now we have players that have certain builds that can get them upwards of like 3,000 health. So it's I hope to be making with the concept of these floor turbines and invisible walls, and then I actually have some moving platforms that I don't want to continue working until the elevator issues are fixed. But I'll get those in too for moving platforms in your dungeons. I've already started making them. They're looking pretty good. Just things are wonky because of the elevator issues. But I want to make traps you can place that aren't just decorative, because we do have the decorative traps, and maybe I'll even make a way where we can convert them to the non-decorative, the actual damaging versions of those three before I start making others as well. But in any case, I want to make them, and I want to base those off percentage of health. That way, regardless of the level of the person coming into your dungeon, your traps will seem significant to them. And but I don't know what the plans would be for traps in the actual adventure scenes, though. I don't know, Sannio, if you got.
I do have a plan for that. My plan for that is I have a task on myself, which is I'll have to. So behind the scenes, this may not make sense to people who don't normally watch our streams or people who aren't devs. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a whole a set of each, like the, let's say tier 1, tier 3, tier 5 of all these different traps, and set their damage accordingly. And we can adjust as time goes on, and then I'll have to go into each scene where all these traps are, and I'll put the replace, leave all the low-level ones as they are, find the mid-threat ones and replace them with my new variant objects, find the high-threat ones, replace those, find the super-threat ones, replace those. So that's what we'll do. I don't think it'll take too long, but I'll have to dedicate a few days to sort of go through it, I think. Hopefully it'll just go really quick and I won't actually have to spend too much time on it, but we do have that set aside.
And Elgarion, you touched on something that reminded me of another thing, which is we aren't doing the every Friday streams, but I'm actually probably doing more. I did 3 private streams or guild stream type things, and I just remembered that because since the last time we had a big public stream, and I actually think I might have streamed one of those just on our Twitch channel, but I remember that because I showed off your moving blocks to one of them. Those have been seen, but they were asking about a bug. I think they were asking about the elevator bug as well, and they wanted to know for the moving ship, because the moving ship has similar issues. Again, I tracked down the exact issue with that, and it is sitting on one and only. and he knows what it is and is working on a fix for it. But hopefully that'll be fixed. I'd hoped it'd be fixed for this release, but life decided otherwise. So,
anyone that saw those moving platforms that I'd made to just demo, I really just kind of threw something together and was really just testing the tech. So I'm hoping to make them a little fancier looking than that, rather than just big blobs or blocks of moving things. I'll try to fancy them up a little.
Yep, they look cool. They'll add a ton of fun. So
cool.
That is exciting. And let's see. That was our first question that somebody actually used. It was congratulations to Sargato Omega for that, asking the spike question as the very first one, followed by me saying, "Oh crap, that worked." But the second was Coswald Dirthmeyer asking, "Is this thing on?" Checking to see if there's a confirmation message, and sorry, there is not. That is going to be the next thing I add to that, though. Let's see.
Got it. Got one from Gareth. When are salvaging enhancements for mundane weapons and armor scheduled to complete? Haven't gotten to that yet. My last big salvaging effort's been related to artifacts, because one, it was ancient essences, and now it's the imbued gems and jewels, and then of course the mundane salvage, really good if your works. Well, I realized that there's mundane items that have metal in it, and zinc isn't a possible item that you can get from salvaging those mundane items. So I'll be going back, I already put it in my notes, to go back to those salvage tables and I really broke it down. Like if there was an item that looked like it had wood, glass, and metal on it, it would give a little bit of everything. So I literally will look for anything with metal on it in those mundane items. I actually categorized them that way in my notes. So if it has metal on it, it'll have a chance soon to provide zinc. But yeah, I'll get to the rusty armors and stuff like that soon. But I'm really hoping to do something a little fancier with that, where those can potentially be salvaged into unidentified items, where you can basically try to identify it where it would be if it's an artifact or not. And it's really just going to be a crafting recipe, just identify, and the reward would be just some item. But just an FYI, those will be a little special. They're not just going to dump resources on you. I'm going to try to make them a little bit more interesting.
Awesome. Let's go ahead.
I got one.
Do it.
What's the latest on the shipping of boxes? That's asked by Hollyhawk, which Hollyhawk, by the way, I verified you are still in queue, and we have about 25 boxes left to go before we wrap that up. I believe we have a supply run that's heading out over to the shipping department.
That is actually
true, Chris?
That is probably on me. That I'm probably the current holdup, because Felicia did ping me last week saying she needed some stuff, and I did manage to ship a shirt to somebody that I owed a shirt to, but I did not get her the items that she needs. So I will try to make sure and get that done. Hopefully, maybe I can stop by there tomorrow and drop off all the stuff for her.
Yep, and just to add in is a sort of a public notice on that, is that the physical rewards window is closed now, so we have all the stuff in queue that we have processed. So the stock is depleted, and the project is at an end. So we just need to get those last boxes shipped out, and physical rewards from the pledges will be complete.
I think we had some people asking about it, but my plan for the future would not do any physical rewards, but that does not mean we would not do physical stuff for you guys. If we did physical stuff that you guys could buy, it would be through a third party, like a t-shirt. Go to the place where we have t-shirts set up, you can buy t-shirts. I just mentioned shirts. That was actually somebody posted on the Shroud of the Avatar group, a picture of their tabula rasa box, and coincidentally, when I read that, I had actually just gone through and done the clean out of my closet, which I always set things up into 3 categories. which is shirts I actually keep and I want to wear, shirts that I don't really wear, but I can't stand to throw away. And I put those in a box for the attic, and then I have the shirts that go to Goodwill. And I had a bag, I had just taken it because I had 4 Tabula Rasa shirts, and I wear them, but I really just wear one. And so I just seen him post that, and I went and actually was like, hey, how about if I send you a Tabula Rasa shirt? So I got him that Tabula Rasa shirt.
And actually, since you bring that up, that gives an opening into something that we are working on. We're going to be looking at the merch shop and putting together a list of different artwork that we'll put out for T-shirts and stuff like that. So probably in the next 30 days or so, should have more information on that. So by the next stream, hopefully I'll be giving out information as to where you could go to look at that type of stuff. And John Marcus just posted about challenge coins. Challenge coins won't initially be in the merch shop as we put that up because there's some turnaround time and discussions that need to be done to get those made. Some heads-up costs, or costs involved in getting that all put together. So figuring on challenge coins being phase 2. I want to put the merchandise shop up and running and see how it does, see what kind of attention it gets. And if it's successful, then we'll go ahead and look at adding more unique items like the challenge coins and other stuff that these third-party vendors don't automatically have.
I saw someone just ask a question about the challenge coins. I do. That is something I do actually have a ton of, are challenge coins. So, and those are something that's cheap to ship. So that's definitely one I could consider giving away for future streams or rewards for things. But again, it would be minimal because the shipping is the crazy part, just the amount of effort that goes into them. But I could see us doing a live stream where I give away some of those things. All right, who's got a question they want to answer?
Probably need help on this one.
Go ahead.
This is from Aeolus Adara. Can we get cobblestone roadways with dirt under them to hide the grass? Also, giant versions of the dirt path pavers, small and expensive currently. So for part of that, the second part, the dirt path pavers, the little clumps of dirt, Damon, the artist, was actually talking in another chat channel because he noticed that question. So that's got his interest a bit too, but possibly just making them similar to like the clover pavers were recently made, where you had more size variations available. But when it comes to something that I don't know if going into all the pavers and say, well, we're going to make this version of the same paver clip the grass, this version of this paver not clip the grass. I think that would have to be maybe, I don't know, Chris, like a new tech item where they have the option where it clips the grass or not. So I know it's a deco modifier to remove terrain details, but
yeah,
I don't know what would be the best solution or if we would end up doing it.
I think it's probably worth noting that I don't think that all the pavers, even in that one set, actually do that. That it may be technically a bug.
Oh, like some are behaving inappropriately?
Yeah, I think some of them are not blocking the grass and some of them are letting it.
Oh, okay. That's easy. That's just a checkbox. That's easy.
Yeah. I
can go through them all, but I personally, my favorites are the cobblestone ones with big gaps in them, and I like the grass showing through a lot of stuff. If you go for a more rustic look, but for a more refined look, then of course that works against it.
I have one here I wanted to answer just because I thought it was already fixed, but someone's asking if how's that res, this is from Asmodi Mahul, how's that res bug fix coming? PvP fishers want to know. I thought that was actually fixed already. I thought at the very least, I thought we had a fix in that forced him out. If you did manage to get in that state, it forced you out of that
what is the
mode. The bug was, based on the context of that question, I think it's the res bug they're talking about is the one where you could die and you could get into a state under certain circumstances where you would basically stay in ghost mode, but you could stay in fish and you were kind of in this half limbo state. But basically it lets you fish in PvP zones without being attacked. Again, it's limited usefulness, but if you're a PvP fisher, that kind of gives some people some unfair advantages. But I thought that had actually been addressed. I thought we put in something, at least a hard, kick you out type thing if your timer ran out, but maybe not. No?
So
anybody?
If more than one player tries to res you, you get stuck in a limbo state. That's what's. I think that's what the details are on that.
Oh, okay. So I think that's a modification. The old one was you could get there, and you still had the res timer up on screen, but the res timer would count down to negative. That probably, I bet the fix that was put in, I think Devil Cult put in the fix. He probably is checking that timer because I think that's what I told him to do. And if you get a res, it could probably wipe that timer out. Okay, so it's the same bug, just it's moved a little bit. So the answer is, did we fix it? The answer is no. We apparently did not fix it. We did fix something, but we did not completely fix it, apparently. You guys
They're
are...
not trying to take advantage of this bug.
Yeah. You guys are
It's their next point.
sneaky in finding all the edge cases in these things, so... I see Ampu asking if new maps are coming soon, which the answer to that is at least one yes, which Sannio mentioned earlier. He's got a map that's there. There may be some other stuff that comes. I've had a request
I think he means the in-game map.
Oh, those in-game maps.
Yeah, the display map to help you get around.
Okay, well those are coming soon as well too. That would be.
Yep.
Since we're in the squares here.
Yep.
But we
Look
put
up
the
and
two
check.
scenes coming up.
Right.
Ravalox mentioned he's going to work on the Jotungrund map. We haven't talked yet about the Outlaws Run map, but we'll coordinate when that time comes.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, once the terrain is stabilized, then I can go ahead and do that.
Yeah. For the Outlaws Run, I have the basic layout. We have these couple of caravan way stations. There's some special fights areas, rune areas. There's a special maze, which has like shifting walls, and some other areas that are interesting to find.
All right, I've got one here that was asked by Alexander, which is, please, oh please, when will there be when will it be possible to persist food on pets on Rezone? It persists when they die and get rezzed. So this is one of those that I've had to tell this sad story to people on the team before, or explain on the team before, which is when you zone, your pet is destroyed. It does not exist anymore. We create a new copy of it over there. This is, I think some people were calling it the... oh crud! I can't remember the movie. The Prestige, where the guy. Well, I may have just given away spoilers. I think that movie's been out like 10 years or something, so it's probably safe to give out spoilers.
They have time to watch.
But anyways, I did come up with a way that we can persist it, but it basically requires me going and doing a lot of work on runes. Maybe it's one I could come up with, do one to prototype it and. Hand it off, but basically it's a change to make it so when you buff a pet, the buff is actually on you, not your pet, and then it just shows up on the pet. So we will see if I can get that done, but that's really the only good way. It has a lot of side effects that we're probably gonna have to watch for. But yeah, that's sadly it's one of those things. It's been fun having. Let me just say, it's been fun having Devil Cult on the team. Because there's so many times where something comes up of like, we need to do a thing, and he says, that's easy on the team chat. Nothing is ever easy on a game this size and this scale and this many, different quirks and things that have to be handled. So nothing is ever easy. Which it's fun because I think he's finally been learning that the hard way. That's one of those things that it seems like it should be easy because they persist when they die and get res. Well, when they die and get res, they don't actually get completely destroyed and a new copy made. They're actually kind of still there. So it all depends. There's a lot of data in there, and again, some of this just is based on our model of where that data lives, and that's data that some lives in the actual zone data, some lives on the server, some lives on the player, but again, that combination of things makes it really difficult to make it persist. But we can do it. You guys got a question picked out?
Oh, I got one from Christ Ballad. Can you make, this is interesting, can you make lots a choice to swap length and width? Which really to me sounds like it'd just be a matter of where the stone showed up on the lot, But instead of a, 2x4 lot, it would be a 4x2, so you, I don't know. To me, wouldn't that really just be the orientation of how the stone is on the lot?
I think, I don't know enough about this, but I know, so I don't place lots, I'm not that guy, but I do make sure to not screw up lots when I'm working on something. And I know lots sort of have a front side, so some tech in there says this is the front no matter what, and that's where we put the stone.
Oh, he's basically wanting the house to be oriented, pointing towards the width also.
Right, but
yeah,
the house
okay.
has to face the front, is what
Yeah, so
right
correct.
now.
Yeah.
So I don't think we can right now.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
would
know
be
anything about that system.
it would be really difficult to do it. Like if you take a pot owner goes to put a stone down, you'd have to put it down, then make the option change, which means that the outline would change while it's already on the ground. That could be a problem if it's not valid.
Or it's a different marker type.
Yeah, so it'd have to be another set of markers that would be 90-degree markers or something. So we'll have to talk about that and see what we do.
Interesting.
I see Vesper mentioning here, can we get some onks in accessible locations for the Arteris Arena? Yes, I actually added some, and this was a request. There's an arena in Arteris. I don't even know if a lot of people know that, but it has some extra special functionality, but it's missing some easy onks. And I added in some onks, but apparently I added them in the area that is marked for spectators only, for people who want to go and watch. It's one of those scenes, I think it probably went for months without anybody using it. I think people just don't know it's there or just forgotten about it, but they were still trying things out on. So
Stephen was just saying in our little side chat that he wants to take a look at try his hand.
Yeah,
A
so
certain way you
I'll
could get the
you-
onk in and then have the respawn point outside the arena, so that way someone can just keep going in the arena. Like you lose your out.
Right. Yep. So I could do that.
And since I see John Marcus there asking, are you guys still giving out challenge coins? Why don't I send you a challenge coin there, John Marcus, for asking. And because, as you know, I am completely biased, and you're one of my favorite people because you let me sing. So we'll figure out a way you can get me a message somehow. Maybe you can message me. Yeah. Do I owe you a drink now? Because I don't think I have mine handy.
I love this coin. This is oops.
Do we have any exclamation point questions pasted in yet? I'm scrolling up. It looks like we did have some questions coming through exclamation point question.
Tons of challenge coins. And I see Den Haru live there. Yeah, that's one of the groups I crashed. Their party was the Dallas players have a meetup, and I was encouraged to join in, so I actually live streamed in and met up with the people at the Dallas meetup, which of course that guy is in that group and had him there. But number of great guys. That would have been one of those things. That would have been a perfect time for me to give out challenge coins. Next time you're down in Austin, Ravalox, let me. I know I owe you a computer, but I'll also give you a box of challenge coins, so you can have a few hundred challenge coins, so you can take to stuff like that and hand them out.
All right. Yeah, sounds good. I should be able to come down over the next couple of weeks or so.
Let's see. And yes, the challenge coin that's one of the things, it's a military thing for those who don't know, where you have the challenge coin, and basically if you've been given a challenge coin, and you're supposed to carry it around at all times, because if not, someone else can challenge whether or not you are really a super fan, and present their coin. If you do not have the challenge coin, then you have to buy that guy a beer. If you do have the challenge coin, then for them questioning your super fan status, they have to buy you a beer. So, just for the record, I never have a coin. So, if you see me at any of these things, you will easily get a beer out of me.
Nice. Good man.
Let's see. So we've got a few questions left. Oh, wait. I see someone saying that's not it at all. That's how I understand it. That's how I work. Yeah, it's a military thing. Tito's and tonic. But it's after 5. We aren't trying to stick to a thing. How much do we have? Any other content that we need to go over? Elgarion? I guess we're not doing the fishing announcement now. That's going to be done on. Yeah. So we'll do. You haven't got all that stuff just ready yet.
Yeah, and I'll adjust the end times. No, the end times will just be no contest over the weekend, I guess. But I'll do the announcements and let people know where all the new locations are and stuff Monday morning, sometime Monday there, and then Lainey says she'll get all the prizes out that week, hopefully, and then the events. I got player events. I'm going to list those out real quick.
Yeah, let me just remind people this Ask a Dev thing, that stays up. That's not something you can just do like the day of. Leave that up. You can ask a question there. That's also, oddly, when I set it up, I didn't even realize, but it works if you're on QA or whatever. So feel free to add your questions in wherever you want to, and we will see them show up there. And just so you know, actually, I don't think I can show you what they look like in here, because I'll be showing like even all of our name channels and all that other stuff, some of which are kind of silly, so I don't think I want to show it. But anyways, it's a good way to get a question to us, and it also can be a good way that gets something in our face if something urgent comes up. So we might be more likely to see it there, more immediate to see it there. All right. Well, you want to go ahead and cover your events?
Yeah, sure thing. So. Let's see, I already had it open. All right, so we go, of course, we got the Catnip Games monthly fishing tourney. Normally I'd be announcing today, but I'll get all that announced on Monday with the same with these other ones. The Catnip Games monthly screenshot and video contest, and the Catnip Games monthly treasure hunting contest. Now, keep in mind, they got a lot of great prizes, especially the screenshot video one. And we really do make good use of those videos and screenshots, and I thank you guys for submitting those. But here's links straight to those forum posts if you want to learn more about those. Let's see here. We've also got Fionlin Wildmane is on WRFB, I think at some new times. So every Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m. Central. So Radio Free Britannia, it's WRFB Rocks, .rocks rather, for the URL. New Britannia Theatre Troupe needs you. That's right. If you love to role play or to act or screenwrite or voice act, Asclepius and friends over at the New Britannia Theatre Troupe, they do a lot of engaging, very fun activities creative activities related to theater. So you can even just do decoration for sets and stuff, and they even do podcasts and stuff like that. So if you're interested in that, please let Asclepius and friends over there know. And here's the URL for that. We also got the one-time events. These are actually just finished up, so we won't read those out. But we had Lane, thank you, and Rajazel, thank you for doing R91 fishing contests. I hope you guys had fun there. Now here's one that just popped up again. I think it's the second time Oswald Dirthmeyer's run this one. It's called Trashed Treasure, Dropped Items Turn-In. And basically he's populating. So we have a really interesting, unique loot system in game where player crafted items that are sold to vendors will populate back into loot. And you'll find that imps actually have a pretty high chance of getting those things to drop. So that's something to keep in mind. A newer thing for imps that was added, I don't know, about 3 releases ago. But in any case, they're sneaky little thieving jerks, right? Take all your gold too. So in any case, it looks like he's got headdresses, wings, backpacks, and a sort of miscellany of every sort. So just make sure it's crafted by Oswald Earthmire. And then give it back to him per the contest instructions. Oh, and I didn't give you a link to that. But here, the links are just all right here on this page. I'm not going to list out each and every one of them. Let me give you one more URL here. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, so the Iron Hall Tournament PvP training. That is every Saturday at 1 p.m. Central in Iron Hall, Player Owned Town. So you want to go hang out with friends of Thoric O'Mara, please show up. We also got the Mool Island monthly fishing contest. So join us, Modi Mool and friends over at Mool Island for their monthly tournament. Lightbringer Isle fishing contest. We got a Combat and Crafting Sunday School too over at Immortal City, and that's run by Lynn Dragonfire and friends. That's every Sunday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central. Another fishing contest. We got a lot of people that love fishing out there. Sonia Solar, the 500 Crown Fishy Prize. She's been running that for several months now, and people are having a lot of fun with that. Please participate. The RHEC Traveling Pop-Up Fishing Contest, run by Asmoody Mool and friends, and they even do occasional PvP twists to it, where they do it in a PvP location, which definitely adds some flair to it. And then we got the Lightbringer Isle auction, which happens every Sunday at 11 a.m. Central in Lightbringer Isle. And let's see here. And then, just to promote the New Britannia Theatre Troupe a little bit more, here's a link to some of the latest plays and podcasts they've done right there on the, or a link to the forum post that talks about it. But anyway, and then of course there's more events here and new resources and community calendars you can look into. So please check all that out, guys. And thank you so much for creating these events. That really keeps people engaged.
And I just realized we missed a couple of important things. One was thanking people for bits and whatever else is subs. So thank you very much, Skeggy Media. Thank you, Tular Fairlow. Axel Caravanos, thank you for the follow. Z, thank you for the sub. Scan for Christ Pallid. Darton Obscuro, Skeggy Media again, John Marcus ×2, Ravalox, you better get your song ready.
I had some more stuff to talk about.
Oh, okay, well, we can definitely talk about that. Vic Cannon, I was going to say, the other thing I totally forgot about was something you guys might care about, the prizing. So I'll work on trying to get the prizes working, because it looks like they're being a little pesky again. I may have to go hand copy and clean up some stuff. But Vic Cannon, Red Hammers, thank you very much. Phoenix 34, Submarine Mike, Waldo Ptolemy, the Graceful Bard, thank you for the sub. Love seeing your name up there. Miss raiding you after some streams. Dinharu Live, Renai, thank you. You say you have some stuff to talk about, I'll let you do that. And also thank you, Royu Spirituality Dragon, thank you.
Cool. All right. So, just to reiterate again, yes, I'll be working on scene maps for the in-game maps that you get when you hit the map key. I'll be working on that, concentrating on it next week. So this next release, I should have a bunch of those done, and I'm going to work on the newer scenes that we have coming into the game as well. Putting them in the front, so those are done. So as they come alive, then we'll actually have those right away, and then still doing backfill to clean that all up. In addition, wanted to say that the Bug Brigade is approaching its 1-year anniversary in its current incarnation, and we are aiming to have a party, and that'll be held in Arteris on the houseboat, which is our office, and that'll be I believe that we're aiming for the last weekend of August, so it's probably going to be just after release, and we'll give you more details actually in the next official video, the initial official stream, and as we get everything together and confirmed. I've been working on sound effects this last week, so everything I really was working on was kind of put off. But I will be working on dungeon rooms. I'm doing bug fixes on the dungeon rooms now. I have a list of about 30 of those to go through, and I'll be doing new dungeon rooms and new dungeon sets as well. Those will be coming in releases to come soon. Finishing up the Lord of the Isle scene polish, and I'm hoping to get that one going for next release as well. So I'll be touching base with Keith and Travis as well to make sure that that's all up to snuff, as it were. Last items is that as part of my effort to assist Chris on doing builds, I am installing this 8 terabyte NVMe third generation drive into my laptop, which is dedicated to the Shroud of the Avatar development files. So I currently have a 2 terabyte in there, so that's gonna make it so I'll be able to sync the live and the QA branches and be able to do integrations properly. So this will give Chris, hopefully, I can see he's smiling, so hopefully that'll give him some time so he can spend more time with the family and I could do more builds.
I should be smiling about that, but I'm actually smiling at one of the player names that came up that was drawn. We always read off the username. I think, are those usernames or those character names? Surely those are, okay, those are character names. Good, I do not have to read off the username. You guys can look at my message at 5:20, the first winner there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a recent customer service ticket.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, his character name was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Or forum name. I don't think character name.
Okay, forum name.
Laney knocked that one out.
All right.
So the last thing I was going to say is that I'm also streaming as I work on stuff. So when it's appropriate, obviously streaming me working on sound effects and stuff like that just won't work very well. But definitely getting some streaming time in and having a good group of people coming in and watch me just sit here and do stuff. Hoping to do some streams on the Shroud channel as well. Aiming probably for like once a month at minimum to do a Bug Brigade oriented stream on the Shroud of the Avatar channel. So I'll pick like one of the other Fridays or even on a Saturday or something and do that then. So that's about it.
And I will mention people again, we're doing these streams once a month, once a release. That does not mean that we are only streaming once a release. If you want to have me on a stream, a couple of the ones I did this last month where I joined people on streams, it was request to be private because it was like, some guild stuff that they want private. But actually one of the times was oddly Minerva's group invited me to speak and I accepted, and then like later that day BMC invited me to speak and I couldn't join them because their guild meetings were at the exact same time. But anyways, just bring that up. If you want to have me invite me to a guild meeting, I can usually make time for you to come and sit and ask questions, especially if your guild has a certain interest or thing they want to talk about. Format can be up to you, but I'm happy to attend your meetings, at least once in a while. I'm not going to say I'm going to go every single time, but so far I think I've gone to every one I wasn't double booked for. So, all right, and yeah, and Laney just said that yes, that one has been that one has been fixed. That the name that I was laughing about earlier. So anyways, get in your requests if you want to have me join you guys, and you can grill me in a smaller group like for your guild. So I did stream the one that I did with Minerva. That one should be on our Twitch channel. I think that one's been archived. So you want to do some prizes here? Who wants to read off the prizes? I'm going to read off the character names just because those bottom ones are hard to read, and I want to make sure we get the right ones. Anybody?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll do it.
All right. Read off the prize.
Yep, I'll do the prize. So, and there's 4. Okay.
Yes.
So, the winners of the replenishing white pinwheel fireworks box goes to
Volbrig Clinking Beard, good name. Briar Blackmore, good name. Oh, he did. He won. Did I copy the wrong one? Is that what I did? No, he actually won the same thing twice.
Check him out.
Yeah, check him out.
Congratulations.
Briar Blackmore again. And last but not least, Leaf Eye Gentle Breeze. Oh, go ahead. But let me tell Ravalox, reminder that we can tell people about the thing we're changing to make it so those can be the thing we talked about earlier, putting values on those things so they can actually be traded or whatever.
Right. Oh, you want me to talk about it then? Right.
Let's finish the thing. They're all waiting with bated breath to hear whether or not they win.
No problem.
All right, so the white feather wings goes to
Padded Paw, Zix06, Ian Berry, and Dr. Hernbrand.
The island flower crown goes to
Zadian, Bar Brady, Denali, and Dieter von Satan.
The ancient wall sculptures set goes to
Scarface, Lateralis Stinkfist, and Mogul Razdunk, and last but definitely not least, how does this happen? Are you guys looking at that? Mogul Razdunk won the same thing twice again. Okay, that may be one that we need to tell Dr. Bob he needs to check his script out. I already saw what the exception was this time that was blocking it. Every time this script runs, there's a different failure for it. But we'll let that one roll there, and in the future maybe that won't happen. Go ahead, last one.
Coming up.
Oh, really? And the last of the 4 prizes goes to, or is a gold telescope goes to Cryonthan Ice, Litharian Silvermane, Dr. Hernbrand. Did we give out the wrong string or something? And Red Hammer. Oh wait, no. Sorry. Domino for the last one. All right, that sums it up, and obviously we got another bug to fix in that stuff. Just so you know, Dr. Bob is amazing, but the version, due to some odd quirks, we're having to use an old version of Python, and every time he has to touch it, he curses how bad the old versions of Python were. But the machine that stuff runs on is tied to that because it's used for some of the build process stuff. I just saw there was another exception going on in there, but I don't think that had anything to do with it. I think those are actually all just random weirdness in terms of people winning the same thing twice. But that sums it. We got anything else to talk about here? Because if not, I got a song picked out. Oh, you wanted to talk about the thing. That's right.
We can mention that when we give out the prizes, they're set to no trade items.
Yes.
And what we have discovered, which wasn't expected or noticed before, was that those no trade items cannot be packaged. So this is technically a bug, so we're going to go ahead and fix that. I have it's actually a lot of typing. It's really what it comes down to. Got to go through the whole database and set all that up, but we'll get that fixed up shortly. So that way, if anybody has items, especially those with the duplicates, when they won stuff, they'll be able to share them with other people once we get that fixed up, and that will apply to things that you've gotten in the past as well. It'll dynamically fix it.
So this actually relates to a question that people there saw. I just got a timeout. The AFK bug. So hopefully that means.
Get it?
Yeah. So I didn't answer because somebody asked the question of has any progress been made on the AFK bug. which the answer was no, because I've instrumented stuff, but I've never been able to get it to happen. So it just happened to me on the stream, sitting there. So now I have to try and figure out. It's funny. It's one of those bugs that there's not an obvious cause for it, code-wise, or else it obviously would have been fixed long ago. It's impossible to reproduce, almost impossible to reproduce. But if you ask people, they swear up and down that they know the secret sauce that makes it happen, and they will tell you of, you got to be in someone else's town, but on your own lot. And have not have executed anything. I've noticed if I craft, it happens more often than like just going over and over again of all the stuff. So I should have some information now that maybe will help me track this down now. But you guys just witnessed it. Awesome. Not awesome that it happened on stream, but awesome that it actually happened to me. So.
Yeah, you want to have that stuff happen to a dev, for sure. Oh, yeah.
All my fish tanks are on timers. Yeah, all the fish tanks are on timers, so they all. It just the timer went off on it.
So that's nothing to be worried about.
Nothing to be worried about at all. Except the fish are going to be angry. Other fish in the house also go off at that time. We have a lot of fish tanks, so they're going to be angry. Pets, go ahead.
Hero had been having some medical issues for a while. He's getting better. He's still an old dude. But the neat thing is that Damon, our art guy, he's going to make an in-game version of Hero that players can get as a reward item.
Is he going to be a one-eyed dog? Is he going to have some special?
Well, Hero has two eyes. It's just one is blue and one is brown.
Oh,
although
okay.
One of them has that's one of his medical issues. One eye is kind of like hazed over, but I don't think you'll be able to see that. I gave Damon some pictures, so it's gonna be Hero-ish. It won't be exactly Hero. It'll be Hero-ish, inspired by Hero, my dog.
All right. So that is it. Except, do you guys have anything else? Are we missing anything? We already went over my stuff on my agenda and some more, a little bit extra there. Let me see. I don't think any more last-minute questions came in there. So I think we're ready to torture people and pick somebody to raid.
Oh boy.
Let's see. Elgarion, you want to pick somebody to raid? And Steven, do you want to
just have one person, Oswald?
Well, good. That's a good one to do. Well then, Steven, do you want to torture people first?
Sure, I'll torture people first. I've been clearing my throat all afternoon, so just, anyway, whatever. Here we go. One pill makes you larger, and one pill makes you small, and the ones that mother gives you don't do anything at all. Go ask Alice when she's 10 feet tall. And if you go chasing rabbits and you know you're going to fall, tell them all hookah smoking caterpillar has given you the call. Call Alice when she was just small. When the men on the chessboard get up and tell you where to go, and you've just had some kind of mushroom, and your mind is moving low, go ask Alice. I think she'll know. When logic and proportion have fallen sloppy dead, and the white knight is talking backwards, and the red queen's off with her head, remember what the dormouse said. Feed your head. I'm not repeating that.
All right. That's good. That's there's fewer people to suffer through my singing now. I am going to do... Yeah, that's. I agree. Very brave is what they're saying.
Absolutely braver than I am.
Keep singing. What? I was going to say, we need to have a different... If you want to join the stream, that should be a thing you have to do. So I'm going to go ahead and raid Coswald Dirthmile here, and I'll sing mine. So there's a secret message in this one that I won't be able to explain to you for like 2 weeks. I'll leave you thinking about it. There we go. I may not even get to the secret message part of it since I do the raid. So you guys only have to suffer for a little while. We're going to raid Coswald. Like I said, he is amazing in terms of content. Great guy. He can actually talk and play the game at the same time. Whoa, crazy, I know, right? But let me cue that up for a raid. And I'll sing this one. I will not do it justice. It's probably like one of the most covered songs in history. So this is just yet another cover for it. And my mouth is dry from talking too much. I took my love and I took it down. I climbed a mountain and I turned around. And I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills till the landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I've built my life around you. But time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too. Oh, take my love and I take it down. Oh, climbed a mountain and I turned around. Okay, well, it's about to cut us off there, fortunately for you guys. Guys, have a great week. Be safe. Let's raid. All right, hold on. I got to end the stream there.